Okay, good morning. We are going to attempt this math thing today, and I have decided that it will work better for me to just use my voice and show you the materials as we work through. Yesterday, 330, the big book, pages 337 to 340, and the skinny book was the extra practice pages 167 and 168. And that is just the end of the chapter that we talked about before spring break. We were going to come back after spring break and finish this chapter. So in order to do that, I have Craig here, and he has looked at this lesson already after I attempted Facebook Live yesterday. As you can see, I tried to write it all out for you, videoed myself on Facebook Live, and then it just didn't go very well. So when you are looking here at this page, there are two vocabulary, and those vocabulary I have here. The first one should be fraction, because as you know, a fraction can name part of a whole or part of a group. And then the second one is a multiple. And if you'll remember, a multiple is a counting number. So the multiples of 3 is just counting by threes: 3, 6, 9, 12. The counting or the multiples of 2, 2, 4, 6, 8, multiples of 5, 5, 10, 15, 20, and so on. So what I have done on this big sheet is just the example of the first one. So I did number 3, and it says to list the next 4 multiples of the unit fractions. And remember, a unit fraction is just one part of the whole. And so the unit fraction for 1/8 or for eighths is 1/8. The unit fraction for fourths is 1/4. The unit fraction for sevenths is 1/7. So 1/8, if we were doing the next 4 multiples, we would just go 1/8, 2/8, 3/8, 4/8, 5/8. So do the same thing for number 4, which I left blank here. And then skip down to number 5. I'll show you an example of that one. So 7/12, you're writing the fraction as a product of a whole number and a unit fraction. So 7/12 is the same thing as 7 times 1/12. And we do have these written in already because I did have Craig work through these. But you can try number 6 and number 7 yourself. Number 8, we are listing the next 4 multiples of the fraction. 3/10, so the multiple would be the numerator's multiple and the denominator would stay the same. 3/10, 6/10. Oh, I'm sorry. 3/10, 6/10, 9/10, 12/10, 15/10. So go ahead and try number 9. It should work exactly the same way. Number 10 is talking about 3 times 2/4. So what it is the same thing as 6 times the unit fraction 1/4. So 3 times 2/4 would be the same thing as 3 times the numerator, being 6, and the times unit fraction 1/4. So go ahead and try 11 and 12 for that one. If we look at number 13 here, we have 5 times 7/10. And so you would just multiply 5 times the numerator and get 35 and put that over the denominator of 10. So you could also switch that back to a mixed number now by taking 35 and dividing it by 10. And try 14 and 15. Number 16 says 3 times 1 and 1/8. And what we would have you do there is multiply, actually, for this one, you could change that to the mixed number. You change 1 and 1/8 to 8 times 1 plus is 9/8. And then you would multiply 3 times 9/8. 3 times 9 is 27/8. And then you would convert it back. 27 divided by 8, it goes in there 3 times is 24, subtracted off is 3, and you would end up with 3 3/8. which is what Craig ended up with. And I think for this one, he just multiplied 3 times 1 is 3, and 3 times 1 is 3 to get that numerator 2. But you can do that same thing. Here he has 8 and 24/5, and this is an improper fraction. So you would change that back, or you would convert this before starting by multiplying 5 times 1 plus 3 and getting 8/5, and then multiplying that by 8. 8 times 8 is 64/5, and then divide it out. 8 into 64. I'm sorry, 64 divided by 5, because that's what 64 divided by 5, because that's what this says. And you would, 5 goes into 6. 1 time, subtract it off as 1, bring it down 4. 5 goes into 14. 2 times 5 is 10. Subtract it off as 4, and you would end up with 4/5. So you would end up with 12 and 4/5. So he would need to do some converting here for this one. Okay, the next 2 pages are story problems, which you can go ahead and try to work through. You don't have to do this page. I will, or the answer, actually, I've already posted the answers to these on Facebook, so you can check yourself after you're done. And then I would like for you to apply those same strategies to try this extra practice page. I will also be posting intro to 9 and lesson 9.1 today, which I think will actually be easier because it's starting something new and I'm not trying to just review with you. So I'll actually be showing you the examples of those things as we go. Okay.